Also with cities, often companies have issues in sharing their data with the city. But actually, in some of these projects where you combine different types of data together, then companies were very happy to share the data with MIT. That's what I meant by kind of the Switzerland data, kind of a neutral ground. You know that we are interested in just in the research component, and so they were very happy to do it, and then to see which value would be generated by doing this. So that is for the first part of the question. But yes, I think that the getting of the data, especially getting different types of data, is one of the big issues that we have today. I see a next phase that will be of integration of different databases. The power of data grows exponentially when you combine different types of data. But that phase actually will not go too far because of what you mentioned, which is, and I'll comment on that in a moment, the second point you mentioned, which is you don't want to push that much because you want to deal with anonymized and aggregated data always. So and then if you start from the point of view, then you want to go, you can combine different data sets, but you cannot combine them at the level, an individual level, and you don't want to combine them individually. So the big change, I think, will happen in a few years if people will have the ability to aggregate the data themselves and then decide when they want to share it, to whom they want to share it, then that will provide an incredible wealth of data and also protect the people, the users, the consumers. We said before that we now are like walking cameras. Think about taking pictures in the old analog world. In the old analog world, taking pictures would entail a big camera. In this room, like 15 years ago, just 10 or 15 years ago, in the same room here, we would have had just a few cameras, were big, it would be very expensive to print pictures. And then what would be produced at the end of the day, maybe if you limit the number of pictures, those pictures would end up printed, probably in a drawer, and then they will stay there for maybe 1, 10, 50, 100 years, and then disappear, decay and disappear. So nobody ever thought that taking a picture would be an invasion of privacy. Now, today you fast forward 10, 15 years, you got a condition where we got more cameras than people, that it's very easy to take pictures. A lot of these pictures go online, not necessarily here, but in general go online, go on Facebook or Flickr and so on. And then even something as innocent as taking a picture can become an issue. As you know, Switzerland was the first country that decided to ban the Google Street View car because of privacy. This is just one example, but it says that what is happening is that we're kind of building a digital copy of our physical world. The thing is that when you build a digital copy, then you can search it. You can find things. There was a discussion a few weeks ago just about Facebook wanting to do automated face recognition, so you can search things very easily. And things also stay there for a long time. So you create like a world of total recall, where it's very difficult to do, for instance, to forget, which is a basic survival strategy, something very important for us. So you create a different situation. It is not related to cities, it is really related to making a digital copy of our physical world. How to deal with that, I think, is one of the key things that we all need to be aware of and participate in the discussion. How we solve some of these issues will actually shape our society tomorrow. And I think it's something we should all be engaged and contribute to. What we did at MIT, we recently did a conference called Engaging Data, where we had people from the Obama administration, from privacy advocates, from big companies who collect large amounts of data. So again, the microphone wasn't working very well, but so what I understood is, question number one is about what type of visualization software we're using, and question number two is about if you can use a lot of this big data to detect explosions. So for the question number one, we have been designing most of the visualization software. So we've been writing the code. All of this visualization software, if you want, is just code that takes the data, does some processing on the data, and then visualizes it on a computer screen. And in most of the cases you saw, this code was actually written by us in order to do that. And what we're doing in the Singapore lab is actually try to put it together in a way that could become a package that other people can use that becomes much more flexible. In terms of database, for the database, then it depends. We are using traditional ones, but it depends really on the amount of data. If it is a smaller amount of data, we might use also MySQL, but it really depends then on the complexity of the data and the amount of data. And then for the visualization, we build our own engine and visualization software. On the second question, I'm not an expert, so I don't know how to answer the question, but can you use all of this data in cities, for instance, to detect explosive? But what I can tell you is that actually the mayor of Boston came to us following the bombing. The bombing was on the MIT campus just a few months ago now. Really, what we're doing with them is actually try to use a lot of this data from the cell phone network, but also data from all the other types you saw before, in order to see how the city responded. And if we understand better how the city responded, we can actually build more resilience into the system going forward. So we're doing quite a lot of analysis now. If the project is not finished and it's still not public, it will be soon, as soon as we finish this phase. But really, in order to use this data, which tells us how the city behaves, in that case, in order to understand what happened after